Hello, welcome to Crafting with the Kaiju with me, the Kaiju. Once again, no face cam because it's still not working right. Don't know what's going on there. Probably need to ask Mikey about this, but we'll get that sorted. Because I meant to get it sorted, but then straight after the stream, I just completely forgot. So, and then I sat down and went, oh yeah, I didn't do anything to sort out the problems with the face cam. So, yeah. That's that. You know, live and less dice, technical issues, hand in hand like cocaine and waffles. So, we are back at it again with Resident Evil, the board game. And we're working on Lisa Trevor here. So this is what we got up to last week. Looking pretty good. As you can see, I've done a bit of a camera shufty as well. It is precariously held together with blue tack and dreams. So please keep your fingers, toes, and all appendages crossed that the camera doesn't just decide to topple over halfway. Morning, Gimli. Your beauty overloaded the camera. That's definitely is. If I could show you, actually, I might be able to. It's just this. It's just the white balancing is all off, which is something that I can fix. But there's this like latency where I end up. There's like this latency where I end up sort of like shifting around like a ghost, and it's not good. It's not good. But I'll get that fixed. Hey, morning, Lars. Good day so far. I got my package from you this morning. Looking forward to painting those kobolds. Hey, brilliant. Oh, just to check as well, was there a dice in there? Because I kind of packaged them all up very quickly, and I forgot if I put a dice in. So if you could let me know if there was a dice in there as well. But because I also forgot, because it was a random grab bag, I forgot what I sent to who as well for the giveaway. So you got the kobolds. Someone else got Elf Wizard, I think it was. I can't remember. Yeah, Jam got the Elf Wizard, I think. But I'm just very happy that they have arrived. Gimli, has anything arrived for you? Because I sent them all off at the same time, but I know I'm sending them to like 3 different countries here, so they'll arrive at different times. Yes, good. I did put the dice in. Like I said, I'm a bit scatterbrained with it. Like in the moment, I can get something done, and then as soon as I'm finished with it, I kind of go, did I do anything? Did I do anything, or did I just sort of stare at it and think to myself, yes, this is a job well done? Still waiting for the package. Oh, customs. Very, very possibly, but it's good that 2 of the 3 packages have arrived. So that's good. Gimli, I definitely remember what yours was, because it narrows it down. Because, you know, if Lars got the kobolds, Jam got the wizard, it only leaves one other thing, so you definitely got that. So you'll get that. But yeah, no, I just thought it was a nice little thing as well. You'll get yourself a custom Live and Let's dice. Possibly as seen on stream. Right, so yes, Lisa Trevor. So where are we doing this? Moving in 3 dimensions. So yeah, so we've got Lisa Trevor here. So that's what we'll do. I'll tell you what we'll do. So I remember whereabouts to have this on the camera. So yeah, that's a good point to have it on the camera. So if I just go, there we go, and then I can sort of remember whereabouts to aim. You know, it's not just a fancy hat rack, you know. Yeah, so we've got Lisa Trevor, and then hopefully if we can get that finished in time, also got one of the zombies. It was supposed to be 4 packages, but one of you never got back to me with your address, so I can't send stuff to an address that I don't know. I'll chase him up about it because I know him, so I'll try chasing him up about it, see if he's still interested. Anyway, painting, yes. So I got a fresh, yeah, week sort of, what is this, week 3, week 4. I've had to put a new sheet down on the wet palette. So anyone who's interested, Green Stuff wet palettes, absolutely fantastic. They can last for, like, to be honest, I probably could have used the last sheet. I just wanted to sort of refresh it just to be on the safe side. They last for bloody ages. Can very recommend. I'm not paid. I bought this myself on a whim. But yeah, right. So we'll get into it. So have a look at the Lisa Trevor here. So I think with the sort of with the blending and whatnot that I did. How close can I get this before it starts going out of focus? Right about here. So with the wet blending and stuff I did on the clothing, on that sort of hospital gown thing, she's got, I don't think I really want to mess around with that too much. I think that's sort of turned out quite well. However, I do want to mess around with the skin tones a little, because I think we can push them a little further, just a little bit, not too much. And there's that sort of red eyeball hidden away there, but it's not currently red, so that needs to get sorted. So yeah, we'll get started with that. So what's this? This is Nord Bone and Skull and Crossbones. Trying to keep the same palette going. So it's just sort of the Reaper Bones paints that I've picked up. So I'll just get this one going. There we go. And as well, see, I'm trying to keep track of paint projects a bit more. So this is why I've got this sort of paper here. So I'm going to keep a list of the paints that I've used. I'll write them up later, and then I can cut that out and put it in a book that I've got. Hey, morning Jamslam. And morning Eric. He got it wet, blended. Yes. Very much approve of a bit of an ooh joke. Ah, it's Crazy Doug. How you doing, my man? How's the ridiculously lovely Death Watch? Necromancer purple. Let's go with some of that. Yeah, see, that's exactly the situation that I found myself in, project after project. Luckily, I've got a colour swatch for my Genestealer Cultist, but I haven't done it with anything else. I'm not too proud to admit that I go back and watch the Silver Templars painting video on the channel, if I ever need to do Silver Templars again. This is Kraken ink, so this is quite a, yeah, this is more royal purple. Like I said, I don't think I really need the greens. I'm probably not going to need this Wraith Steel because it's a fucking green metallic, but I am excited to use that for something. We'll get this, was it Snake? Shark Bite. Snakebites a drink, I think. And as always, how are we doing this fine Thursday morn? What, has anyone got any hobby going on at the moment, or in the midst of any projects? Okay, right, what are we doing again? If you don't get the blend right, you could always blame it on the armour being more tarnished because of age. Yep, when in doubt, battle damage, weathering, anything like that. It's magical what you can get away with like, you know, narrative weathering. Like, I've picked up a bunch of weathering powders, like pigments and stuff like that, and I'm just like, how about the obvious mistake that I can't be bothered to fix because of who I am fundamentally as a person. Right, where are my brushes at? Right, so I'll take this one. I have a very geeky spreadsheet on what colours I've used, if I've done any blends. It's so easy to keep track of pile of shame, so I've heard how many I've got to do. Oh, I might have to do that. I had a big sort out a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, and there is now a 18-litre box. Yeah, there is an 18. Yeah, it's one of the 18-litre sort of really useful storage boxes. Love them. But it is filled with just unbuilt stuff. It's just unbuilt things are in that box, and I'm like, oh, I didn't think it was that. I thought, oh well, you know, at least I get stuff and I, you know, build it. That was a fucking lie. There's a shitload of stuff that I don't build, and I'm currently eyeing up Red Harvest. But I'm not going to buy Red Harvest just yet, because it's very expensive, and I've got a bunch of stuff that I've got to pay for. Right. But on the subject of spreadsheets, a friend of ours plays Dark Eldar, and he has a huge, amazing, like, he has this huge, impressive spreadsheet that he uses for the combat drugs before each game. It's great. Okay. Why did I put them up there when I'm just going to be reaching over and... You know what, we live with our mistakes. And then I've put a bunch of wet paint there that I'm almost certainly going to put my fat mitts into. I've not thought of any part of this. Are you budgeting, Eric? Is it like company budgeting or just personal budgeting? Because I need to do both. So I am just farting around with colours here, seeing what I can come up with. That is very pink. Where do we put something? Oh, there you are. Hey, Jules. Snakebite, 1 pot lager, 1 pot cider. Yes, that was it. Because I used to get absolutely rat-arsed on them at the student union punt nights. And sometimes they put a shot of blackcurrant cordial in there. I think that made it a diesel. Okay, so this is a bit more of a skin tone. We'll play around. We'll see what we've got. Fair. Get it nailed, Eric. Hey, yo, Django. How's it going, man? So let's see how badly I can fuck up the skin here. Oh yeah, I absolutely despise that. Yeah. Maybe I just don't have the right colours, or maybe that's just, I think that's just too bloody pink. Oh, that's a bit better. Or is it? Let's find out. You finish your Fire Slayers and your Daughters of Cain before another project. Sweet. Oh, everyone's waiting. Hassan, it is never too early for hobby. You get the jump on it now while the paint and the miniatures are still asleep. That's how you do it. Okay. Let's see. Is this any better? Kinda. Worst case scenario, we'll fix it later. A nice wash. This is just sort of a bit, just a quick sort of highlight. I realise actually, in the cold light of day, looking back at what I've done, there's not a whole lot really to add on to this. It's just a few little touch-ups, just to make things pop a little. We like it. We like it to pop. We like the E-pops. We like the paint pops. Whole ass face on the back of her head here. Well, congratulations on being promoted to supervisor, buddy. But it does suck about the car troubles, man. You know what? It's drying quite transparent, so I'm not. Yeah, it's not too bad. That's okay. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So I think what we're going to do as well, we'll just add a bit of depth to the. Not depth. Add a little highlight. I can imagine, mate, it all comes. These things all come at once, don't they? Here, I just want to do a couple of quick extreme highlights on the skin. Just something to make the skin a little bit more pale. Oh well, not too bad then, if you get yourself a new car. I don't drive. And I have never cared to learn how at the moment. It is probably something that I should look into at some point. So this is just for the weird growth stuff on our back, but we'll probably go over with some of the colours. And it's just got, yeah, the ribs here. There we go. We'll do. Here. Okay, so that's looking pretty good there. That's always the way, isn't it? So I'm lucky that I live quite close to the city and that public transport is decent. And pretty much everywhere that I've had, every job I've had has always been like walking distance. Yeah, she's not looking too bad, is she? Yes, for a skin wearing abomination, exactly. She can be a zombie. That is an absolutely criminal pun, and I'm here for it. Okay. It is, it's Lisa Trevor Hassan. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to thin some paint down within an inch of its life. And we're going to work a bit off of it, but now we're going to sort of run that into the stitches. I just want to, because all this flayed skin's looking a bit too clean. We'll put some around here in the hair, and then around here on the sort of this back growth, just to make it look a bit sore. There we go. When Jules gets wind that there's puns abound, he gets involved. Hey, hey, Beanie! How's it going, brother? So we're going to put some of this bloody flesh and make everything look a bit sore. Just around the shackles and things. There we go. So yes, Beanie, it is. It's Lisa Trevor. They added her in the GameCube remake, which is what the Steamforged board game is based on. Because it just has way more stuff, namely Crimson Heads, which Jules and Mikey took on firsthand last night. Weirdly enough, it doesn't have a living room. Is that where we're going? Yay! There it is. Oh, God, I am... Sorry, I'm a little crunchy boy. Oh. So... there it is. Sports fans. One nasty ass Lisa Trevor. Ready to club people to death and then take their skin and wear it as a hood. I think Lisa Trevor's going to be featuring in the new movie, Welcome to Raccoon City. At least something that looks like Lisa Trevor's in it. Who knows? But yeah, so that's Lisa Trevor finished. I'm quite happy with. Yes, one of the faces is a mum's. Let's see if I can't. So we're get right up amongst it, and then we'll try and. There we go. There's Lisa Trevor. Yeah, so I think that's turned out pretty well. Kind of see the sort of like the underface there at the one side. Maybe push the gown a bit more, but at the same time I don't want to completely ruin it. All in all, I'm very happy with how that's turned out. So, we'll go with the zombie. Let's see if we can Classic Resident Evil zombie. So we'll see if we can get this thing speed painted in an hour and a half, start to finish. I reckon we can do it. What do you reckon? Place your bets. Okay, tell you what, I'm just going to make a note here of what I've done. So there we go. Because then I'll cut that section out, write the other things in, stick that in my project book. Right, so for the zombie, I just realised he's got oh no, it's a shirt. I thought he had a waistcoat on there for a second. I got very excited. Oh well. Okay, so it's skin, clothing, shirt, nice and easy. So he's still a little bit dark, so we'll probably try and just brighten him up a little bit first. Tell you what, I'm going to use this vampire pallor. It should give everything a bit of a strange hue to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to brighten this whole thing up first. Just by whoop. He is a handsome fella, isn't he, Django? So what I'm doing here is I'm just using this vampire pallor just to just a heavy dry brush over the whole lot. Just brightens the whole thing up. Like, it's not the most even thing in the world, but I just wanted everything to be a bit brighter when it comes to painting it, because if we're speed painting, you want to work smart, not hard. Okay, so we started at 10:30, so we're 4 minutes in. Already we've got some good stuff going on. Because the idea here is if we can get these speed painted, it means, because you get a lot of zombies in the Kickstarter box, if somebody wants to link that, because the Kickstarter is in its like final 12 hours, I think. I don't think it's actually even 12 hours left, but you can still back this game on Kickstarter. But you get a lot of zombies, so my thought process is you want to be able to speed paint these little buggers en masse. So we'll try and, so first of all we'll keep things to like a minimum palette, So like 2 or 3 colours and like a wash. You might want to sort of like change things around. So if you do a green shirt on one, you might want to do like green jacket and green pants on another, and then like inverse the colours like that. So skin tone. Zombies are usually sort of greenish, aren't they? So we'll go for a. Let's see, we've got Ghostfire and we've got Grave Gloom. Sounds like that's a great name for some kind of skin tone, isn't it? Oh, that's a lot on the palette there. So I'll put some here. So I like to try and work from the inside out when I'm speed painting. So whatever the closest layer is to the core, as it were. Am I explaining this right? You know what? You'll just see me paint it, and then you can work it out what I'm doing. So basically, because it goes skin, shirt, jacket, I want to go. That's the order that I'm painting in. So I'm painting from inside out. If you've got any questions, please feel free to post them. I mean, preferably about like mini painting and miniatures and stuff like that. But you know, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a counsellor, I'm not a scientist. I'm barely a person, so certain questions will be out of my remit. But this, I'm just gonna. See, the double-edged sword of having like a brighter primed mini is that like black is very forgiving. Takes a while to build up, but if you miss anywhere, that's okay. Just tends to look like shadows. Where do babies come from? Where all good books are sold. Or if you're from Newcastle, you tend to find a lot of babies like outside of Greg's in prams, just chowing down on the third pasty of the day. So you want to go for sort of like a reasonably thin consistency of paint, because one, it tends to dry quicker, which is what you want from speed painting, and also it's got that sort of, it keeps that undercoat, so you keep the contrast of the light and the dark. Okay, anything more? No, he's I think the skin tones works out pretty well. So yeah, he's got a nice sort of pale green zombie tone to him. Now we're going to fuck that shit up. Gonna give him a really awful coloured shirt. Oh yeah, this shirt is hideous. See here, the reason why I work from the outside in is because I've just massively overspilled to the jacket, but that's okay because I'll be painting that over. You don't want to, if you can help it, you know, don't, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. You can paint over stuff again. Oh, and he's got, and the cuffs just peek out there. White suit, pink shirt. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's looking. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I like that. Okay, so that's looking pretty horrendous. So I'm thinking. I want a blue. I'll leave that. Go for a blue shirt and pants. Yeah, just a pair of rolled up sleeves. One prominent coke nail. Job's a good one. Okay, so we'll mix some of this Kraken ink. It's a very dark purple with this snake shark bite. That's alright. Yeah, that's good. Touch of water. There we go. This is probably going to need a couple of coats, but all in all... But actually, it might not. Pondering whether should do the have to do the pants and something as well. I could just do them in the same blue, but then I think it might look a little bit double denim. So it'll be a Canadian zombie. So actually, if we darken down this a bit more, hang on, I've got a black here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he's just looking a bit double denim here. I'll have to let that dry and try a different colour. That's alright. So, that's kind of what we got to start with. You know, nice and quick. Nice and quick base coats. I don't like the not a fan of the trousers, so we'll keep mixing some colours around and see what we get. Oh, perhaps. Yes, maybe some nice grey ones. We're just doing what we usually do. I'm just sort of smushing paint around until I fix my mistakes. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Because why did I keep closing the? There we go. Keep that. You can see. I've just changed the pants slightly. But you can see there's a little bit of overspill in a couple of places. It's no biggie. It's fine. Because this is all going to get washed anyway. So we're just sort of playing around. Yeah, so we'll just wait for the pants to dry. Let's take it. Oh, thank you, son. I mean, full disclosure, speed painting is very achievable if you are if you're getting out. You know, if you're just starting out. Speed painting is definitely a very achievable thing. However, speed painting can be a bit of a misnomer for a couple of different reasons. One, it depends what you're actually painting. This is very easy. There's only really two items, if you want to say. It's skin and it's cloth. And even then, he's just wearing a shirt and a suit. So I could have just done the suit, you know, brown, the shirt white, and then the skin green, and then wash it, call it a day. So that's one of the things, like the different textures that are on a model. So what else have I got here that I can show? Let's clog on. Right. So so something else that I'm working on at the moment is this Chaos Marine, and he's got matte armor, he's got metallics, he's got sort of like plastic or rubber webbing for the undersuit. He's got there's a rock there. There's like some straps and stuff. There's bone on the back. Loads of different items. So it's still possible to speed paint it, but it takes a while because you want to get sort of different effects. Otherwise, it looks all a bit all over the place. Also, speed painting is a bit of a misnomer because painting does take time. Like it just does. Painting takes time, and it takes longer if you're just starting out, because you don't have you don't have the same brush control as some dumbass like me who's been doing it for God knows how long. So I think speed painting really, to me, is always about the application of technique, and also just looking at something and going, what do I not need to do? So like I said, with this, because I'd already sort of, I primed it a medium grey, and looked at it and went, right, well, what do I not need to do? I don't need to add layer after layer of paint to build up a strong colour. What I do need to do is dry brush the whole thing with a light colour, and then go over with very strong pigment, and then go over with colours that have very strong pigments, so like blues, lighter greens, things like that. Blacks and whites and things. And so doing that cuts out the whole stage of this. This has all been one coat. This is why stuff like Citadel's contrast range has been very, very handy for beginners and experts. People who've been painting for decades and people who have just started out. Contrast paints are great because they're very highly pigmented and they go on very smooth, and they just sort of just do the one thing and they do it pretty well. So with this now dry, what I'm going to do is wash. Ordinarily, I've got a couple of different washes here. I could mix my own washes on the wet palette. So it'd be like, oh well, when it's sort of like, I'll do different wash tones on the skin to show, like I did with Lisa. You know, there was a flesh shade I did, and then I went back over with another wash, like a reddish purple wash to show the soreness. There was like Amazonian camo shades, like a dirty green wash around the feet, and then went back in with the red wash to show it was sore around the ankles. So that, you know, a couple of different washes there. We're not doing that. We're just going to take this dirty green wash and we're going to cover the model. So we're just going to take a reasonable sized brush, load up the paint brush like that, maybe a little bit off, and then we're just going to go over everywhere. Also, this has a very nice neutral pose. I didn't have to move the model around a lot. Just sort of, you know, went round and slapped on some paint. So this has been a beautiful example of the idea of speed painting. Hello, Dr. Bacon. And then, as well with this, it's always a good idea. It's like when you have a look at the model, have a seat. Is it pooling up anywhere? Because you have a little bit of time to work, as it's still sort of drying. So you want to check where it's pooling, because gravity makes fools of us all. So you want to see if you've put it on too heavy anywhere, it's pooled, or you want to put it a little bit more somewhere, you can do that. But then after a while, you'll have to pack that in because it starts to dry and it'll go tacky, and then you'll rip the paint up and it's monstrous. You don't want that. So, come back here. So you can see straight away there. It's wet, so it's shiny, but you can see that it's given some. So you can see, but like I'm just wafting this about all over the place right now, so bear with me. There we go. That's probably a better thing. So you can see with a bit of a wash, it's made all the colours pop. Everything like that, which is quite nice. And with all things, I've got it right here, like an inch away from the camera, so you can see like everything that's going on. You see there's like a couple of tears and stuff on the jacket that they could probably go into. Like I said, we're looking for more of a speed painting thing here. Just get that back on there. So when it's at sort of more at this distance, it looks a bit better. Looks a bit more coherent. So really, actually that's still out of focus, sorry. Just playing around with me. There we go, that's better. So really, once that's dry, it's done. And if you've got like a couple of them, like say, I don't know, if you do them in sets of 5, you can get them done pretty quickly. and that was actually a lot quicker than I was expecting. So we'll let it dry, and then we'll play around with some highlights and stuff like that, just to make it a bit more fun. We'll put that there for now. Since that's drying, it's got to the point where I made my coffee a little early this morning, so it's very cold now. So I've got an iced coffee, which is like having 2 drinks in one, which is great. Is there anything else I can be getting on with now? Because I was expecting that to take a lot longer. If you've got any hobby questions, please feel free. Let's have a look in my miscellaneous drawer of mystery and see if there's anything that I can sort of quickly work on while I'm pissing around. Dang it. Dang it. Nothing in my, nothing in the drawers of mystery. But I do have, like I said, I've got my little, got this little guy. So let's, yeah, I'll do a couple of little things here while this dries. I have one project that I'm encouraged an old Eldar Warlock for paint for the Noirvember painting. I don't think it fits on, so I'll do. Ah, yes, you reminded me. Yes, this month's painting competition is live, and the theme is Noirvember. So anything like noir, you know, get your get your Maltese Millennium Falcon going. Any like grayscale, like maybe something from Cthulhu, like kind of like that sort of era, like Art Deco era, that kind of thing. Anything that sort of like fits the idea of noir. Personally, I'm going to be working on. I'm going to try and work on a grayscale miniature. See how that goes. But yeah, that's that'll be running until the end of this month. So if you want to get involved, get on the Discord. Well, he does the magic Discord number. Do it. Bam! I said bam. Bam. Anyway, no projects, just vibing on Hades while resting money after a time of the day. You know what? I haven't played Hades yet, and I feel like I need to. It's been on Game Pass for a while. Mikey's been raving about it. Might give Hades a whirl this afternoon. So what was I doing here again? Oh, it was other metallics, but I'll highlight the armor a little bit because it's looking a little dishevelled. So it's not looking dishevelled. It just looks a bit pap. So I've got a hot orange here. Because who doesn't love a hot orange? Ooh. So I've got my blind closed because the sun just sort of beams in, but there's like one beam that's just coming into the crack. Put my hand through it and it was very hot. That was an odd sensation, just to feel heat. You know, it's like that ghost thing. And you're like, oh, it's a cold spot. I'm just wittering now. Yeah, I've heard that it's you really need a controller plate, so I'll probably just nick my controller back from Mikey. He's been using my 360 controller for ages, because I have a Steam controller, but anyone who's used a Steam controller will know they are rubbish. So this isn't going to be anything special, just a couple of quick edge highlights just to make things look a little bit just ever so slightly jazzing up. This armour. The fun story can be annoying with the PS4 controller works too. Oh yeah, I have used my PS4 controller here. My PS4 controller is a little bit gammy though, so that might be it might be something to check out. I literally only ever used my Steam controller for one game, Binding of Isaac. But no, I've heard great things about Hades. I don't think I've heard anybody say anything bad about it. Apart from one person who never played it, but he was just like, I don't like roguelikes, and I was like, yeah, fair mate. You still don't understand how highlighting works. Would you like me to go through it with you? Because I can. It's fairly easy to do. So I'll show you on this. I'll show you on here. I'll have a little bit of a lesson time with Lawson. So I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll do a little. Can I shift that over here? Maybe put that over. Yeah, just shift some stuff out of the way. So I just got a little bit more space to work here. So what we're doing, so we'll say that's this is your space. This is what you're painting here. So we'll just colour this in, so we know what we're doing. Okay, perfect. So we'll just let that dry first. Like I said, anytime anybody's got any questions about any hobby-related stuff or anything like that, just fire us off a question. We'll get it sorted. Work this out. So that's taking a little while to dry, but so we'll use that we'll use this as an example for now, and we'll use. So what I'm going to do here. So this is you look at shark bite and you go, this is it. This is for me. This is what I want. Actually, no, we won't. We'll put that on the side for now, but we'll go because I want to sort of do a sort of a two-step sort of thing here. Should probably work better. So you go. Say you want to do something bone. So imagine this sort of bit here is your primed area, and okay, let's paint on the palette here. So we're going to need a bit. So this is just in generalities. What you're going to do is you're going to get some of your base coat, and you're going to go. Ah, crap, this is still wet. That's still wet. Okay, this might be a terrible, as examples come and go, this one has went. Tell you what, we'll paint here. Oh, that's better. That's off camera. Okay, so I'm painting, so you take your base coat. And you're like, oh, this is lovely. This is a nice colour. This is what I am about right now. I'm putting on quite a thick coat here because I just want to. This is just for demonstration purposes. You will be thinning your paints because you wish to preserve detail on the model. You've got that here. That's a nice base coat. That's what I like this. This is what I'm about. This is sort of the bone base coat that I want. Now, you've got sort of two options here. With this, so I'll draw. We'll just draw a skull on top. I know, please hold your applause for my artistic talent till the end. So, you've got your skull here, you've base coated it. That's lovely, isn't it? That's very nice. But it's very flat. It's a flat skull that you've got here. So what you can do, first of all, is that you can wash it. So you take like a nice brown like this, and you do, and that wash goes into all the little nooks and crannies. So pretty much wherever the black lines are, it'll be there. And you go, oh, that's lovely, that's lovely. But it sure does look dark because the bits that you've washed now have a little bit of this darker color over the top, so you can see through the wash to the base coat. But the base coat looks a little bit darker because you're looking at it through basically a dirty window. And you go, that's cool, but I want it to look like more like bone. So that's when this is when you've got your two options. So what you can do is you can take your base coat and you can mix a little bit of a lighter colour in, usually a white or a crete or an off-white, something like that. Some colours work a little bit differently, so like with a red you'd probably want to put more of like a yellow, like a touch of yellow. Same with green works really well if you put like a little touch of bright yellow in with a green and bring it up, depending on what kind of green you're going for, of course. But so different colours, but we'll focus on this sort of kind of highlight kind of thing now. So you take a little bit of white, or you look for the next colour up. You either mix. So this isn't quite the next colour up, but it's brighter. Should have done this with the blue. because there's a lot of things going on here. But that's okay. So you did that. So you go, okay, so nice little colour here. And then you go, okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of this. And then what you do is you go everywhere. So you can imagine, I say you can imagine, you can envision how light hits stuff. You know, the light comes from the sun, hits the thing, bounces off, goes in our eyes. So if we imagine that the sun is coming, the light, I say sun, the light source, whatever light source you've got, is coming down like this. So you've got the sun, happy sun is here. Okay, and he's shining down, or she, I don't know. They are shining down. What you want to do is think, okay, so it's all coming down, which means where's the light going to hit first? So the light is first going to hit at the top here. You see? And it's also going to hit here first, the bridge of the nose, and it's going to hit here and the cheekbones, and it's also going to hit here at the top of the eyes, like where the brow is, like that. And it'll probably hit maybe across the teeth a little, you know, maybe a little overspill down there, like that. So that's how you think. It's a little bit harder to do with like a 2D representation. But so you just go like that. And so that's pretty much like sort of the basics of highlighting. So have a look at the model. Think about where the light source is coming from, and just paint those areas. This is where stuff like zenithal highlighting comes in handy. And there are two ways to do it. You can do it with an airbrush. If you don't have an airbrush, I know it's not something that everybody has access to, because they can be a bit of they're a bit of an investment. You can get cheap ones, but it's a mixed bag on how long they'll work. But you can get set up for about anywhere between £60 to £120 with an airbrush. That's probably different for wherever you are. But with that, once you've primed a model, spray directly down. So the spray is the sun. Spray directly down, and it'll just catch the top parts. And then when you're painting, you can kind of see what's going on. Or you can do it the lazy man's way, which is what we just did here, which was when I was dry brushing and I was just using downstrokes. So and that's another way to do a highlight. So because you can see, so bits sort of like the back end of the leg here, it's a bit darker. Under his ass right here, because the sun ain't getting it, the sun don't shine literally, that's a bit darker. But around the shoulders, so there's a couple of different ways, but so the basics of highlighting is just sort of think where the light is going to hit it. I mean, you could literally just, if you wanted to, you could take your model, you know, when it's primed, shine a torch on top, or shine some kind of light source on top, have a look at it, take a picture, and you can use that for reference for your highlighting. But yeah, that's sort of like the basics of highlighting here with my incredible paint, my incredible artwork here. Let me go. Would you use blue or purple to highlight black, such as for Black Templar or Raven Guard? That's a good question. So for Black Templar or Raven Guard, I would go for a blue. You can go for a purple, but I think purple's more of a What do you say for it? Purple would be... What's the word? It wouldn't have quite the same feel to it. Blacks are great. Black's really great. I know people say it can be difficult to highlight black, but it really depends, as you've just brought, as you've just asked, blue or purple and things. It really depends on what sort of black you want to go for. Highlighting black to purple is great. It looks really cool. But it might not quite fit in with Black Templars and Raven Guard. Might make him a little bit too ethereal. But having said that, there is nothing wrong with painting, highlighting with a purple, because okay, so we've got some of the black here. So I'll show you. So we've got like this nice dark purple here. Hopefully this will show up. It's just that it's when you tend to, so you can take a dark purple like that and just kind of tint the black as a highlight. But if you wanted to go with the armor of Space Marines having a lot of like sort of angular designs, you'd have to brighten up the purple little by little. And if you were doing that, you run the risk of, you'd end up sort of like getting a bit of a lavender highlight, like here. Which isn't quite. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not exactly like. It's not what I tend to go for. Whereas if you use a blue, you sort of like this. A bit more blue. And then you can even add a touch of white in there, or you get something like that. Like over time, it feels like the bluish grey, like Lars has said, like somber grey and stuff like that. It's good for like the bluish grey. Cooler greys I find are better for highlighting blacks, because it gives it a very sort of very stark and matte look to it. Blues, like purples work, but you run the risk of possibly like edging over into lavender a little, which could work really well actually. Could be an interesting thing. But if you want to go for something like box art, I'd say stick more in the blue spectrum. But yeah, after all that, let's get on it. So he's dry now. So he really only took about half an hour to do, but we're just going to play around with some other highlights and stuff. Because why not? Let's have a good time of it. So we're going to take some of this, the pallor, the vampire pallor, and all we're going to do is go around and just sort of add a little bit of this pallor to the base coats, and just go around and do a quick highlight. That's it. So, like I said, so we imagine the sun's coming down like that. So he's got very sunken eyes. So we'll just go over with that, and then his cheekbones are quite prominent, so we'll go there. He's got a couple of sort of like little wrinkles there, so we'll just do two little thin lines at the top there. And his chin, his jawbone, and then up to his ear. No, that's absolutely fine, Blackstorm. If, like I said, if anybody's got any questions about anything at all, hobby related, you know, it's a hobby stream, but also, you know, a bit of a painting clinic. Anybody wants to learn anything. So what I'm doing here is just sort of painting the top here, top of his bunts, because that's where a lot of the sun will be hitting. I keep saying sun, I mean any sort of light source. You could be stood under a lamp, but the concept remains the same. So like here, I'm just going to do like the top of his knuckle, because his hand's sort of like that, so you can kind of, you see, so with his hand being like that, it'd be here, 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 sort of at the back here, and then like the tip of the thumb, like that, and that's what you'd be highlighting. Ooh. Jaren. Thank you very much for subscribing. That's very kind of you. So yeah, we're just gonna, like I said, just sort of there, and then the top of the foot sort of here, and then maybe one little quick little line there, catch on his calf. The great thing is that the wash, because it sinks into all the recesses, it gives you a good guide of where to do highlights as well. So we're just sort of working in tandem with one another. Yeah, that is a problem with mini painting. It does have a sort of a fairly high cost of entry, but there are ways that you can minimize it. One, some paint brands are cheaper than others. Two, craft store, like hobby paint, like craft paint, works really well. You need to thin it a bit more, you need to work with it a bit more, but it works, and they're usually a fair bit cheaper and you get more of it. Also same with like artist acrylics as well. You get a lot more for pretty much the same price. It's always a good thing. You can get yourself a set of brushes, like 16 brushes. These synthetic brushes I got on Amazon, and all different sizes. I think they were about £8, and I actually find myself coming back to them a lot more than I do with any of the other brushes I've got, with the exception of my Artist Opus ones. As for the actual minis themselves, yeah, Games Workshop stuff is expensive. All minis can be expensive, some more than others. eBay is a good place to get some job lot, or go to your equivalent, your Poundland, Dollar Store, Dollar Tree, Pound World, the 99 cents or whatever it is, and just buy some car primer, some matte black car primer, and some, like, you know, plastic army men, something like that, or a plastic toy. There you go, you've got something to paint, you've got some minis to paint. That's that would be my advice. If you want to get into some mini painting and just sort of just like dip your toe into it, for maybe about 20 quid, you can give yourself a good feel of how you feel about mini painting as a whole. little bit more of this vampire pallor on my palette. So now I'm going to do the shirt. So I'm probably going to highlight this up a little bit more than I'm expecting to, because I kind of want this closer to white. Yeah, exactly, like, yeah, plastic army men, anything like that, they'll work really well. Alright, so oh, that's gone back some way, Dr. Bacon. There we go. A little bit more on that. Well, it's never too late to come back. It's the joy of the hobby. So here we're just doing a very, because I quite like the grey as it is, but I just want to add a little texture to the folds in the fabric. So we're just going to do a quick little thing here. And like I said, all I did here was add a touch of the white vampire pallor. I used to dry brush the whole thing, because that way it sort of all ties it in together. Little there's so many little folds and stuff. They've really paid some attention to detail here. It's great. Also, completely unrelated to absolutely everything we were talking about, KAIJU and Cambria have a new song out, and it's pretty good. So I'm going to be blasting that later while I make lunch. You know, just in case any of you are looking for some new music. You know, I was like, oh, I'll just do a couple of quick highlights sort of here, hither and thither. You know, no big deal. In and out, 20 minutes. Damn sculptors and their amazing attention to detail. There we go. Okay. Here. Just going to pick out the collar of the jacket mainly, and the shoulders. Ah, hell, we'll highlight the whole dang thing. See, I love the idea of the skirmish games, but they are very campaign based now, and I just don't. I don't have the time or the player base to get a full like campaign group going for these things, which is a shame. Because I have been sat on an Orlok gang for a couple of months now. But I really want to get up and running. Hopefully sometime soon. Right. So it's getting to that stage again where if I play around with if I do any more to it, I run the risk of sort of overpainting and wrecking all the good work that we've done already. You can see just some quick and dirty highlights all over the model there. I swear I'll get this focus thing right eventually. There we go. And there we were. I'm just going to put it sideways. You see it sideways? God dang. There it is. An uncomfortably close up. There we go. But yeah, so that's all pretty much. Like I said, that's finished. That's what I would definitely call tabletop standard. So you can get that done in about an hour, including drying time. Which means if you had a row of about 5 or 6 of these, going at once. By the time that you've washed the last one, the first one will be dry again, which is always good. Like I said, you just want to be painting smart, not hard. But that is pretty much everything. So I'm going to call it a little early today. But thank you ever so much, everyone that's joined in. If you're not already part of the Discord, you can join here with my magic Discord buttons. Say that, it's me typing some stuff like that. If you like the miniatures, you can get a hold of your very own by backing the Steamforged Games Kickstarter. It is currently in its last... Hang on, let's have a look here. I think it's in its last couple of hours. Yeah, 7 hours. It's got 7 hours to go. So yeah, it finishes approximately 6 o'clock tonight, British, UK time. But there is lots of lovely stuff. I would recommend checking it out. It is an amazing Kickstarter, and if you want to see what it's like to play, the boys streamed it yesterday, so that video's up on the channel at the moment. But otherwise, I will be back next week for some more chilled hobby streaming. We've got the Resident Evil stuff finished, so we'll move on to something else. I might put a poll up in the Discord, something like that, stick a few pictures up of things that I need to I need to work on, because I like using this time to catch up on some stuff, or if there's maybe like a technique or something that people want me to focus on, I can do that. But either way, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Mikey is streaming Fang and Bang tonight. He'll be doing Sekiro. Jules will be back Wednesday. I can't remember what he's streaming, but there'll be a Monday Night WOG in the meantime. And yeah, you can catch me on the Discord, you can catch me on Twitter at Crafting Kaiju, same with Instagram. And yeah, peace, look after yourselves, have a lovely day, and I'll see you around. Bye bye.